flourless chocolate cake. This is a flawless recipe from the indomitable King Arthur flour. If your friends are gluten-free, I'm not going to say anything, this is a perfect cake. It also happens to be absolutely delicious and easy as pie, although it's cake. It's very rich. It's almost like fudge. So it's okay for it to sit overnight. In fact, I've made it 3 days in advance, and it's fine. You can make it on the day of your party. It makes a little bit of a mess, but not too much of a mess. It doesn't use a mixer or anything. It's really easy. First thing we're going to do is melt some chocolate chips, semi-sweet or bittersweet, but that's pushing the chocolatiness, with some butter in a bain-marie, as they say, which is really a bowl set over some water. The bowl's not supposed to touch the water, but it doesn't really matter. Put these in like that. Put this sort of softened butter in. Now this is one of those cakes, like so many things I've made with you guys, where you think there's no possible way this is gonna work, okay? So I made several flourless chocolate cakes that were failures, total failures. I looked on the internet to find some recipe that worked, and of course, King Arthur flour was the winner. If you have, you know how amazing King Arthur flour is, just while we're waiting for this to melt? If you have any questions about mistakes that you've had, they have this incredible forum where you could, Leonard, honey, you can't be here if you're gonna do that, all right? Don't do it. Don't yell. Please don't yell. I made a birthday cake for a very dear friend recently, and it was a fail. And I served it, and I didn't make excuses. I should have thrown it out. And I was very bewildered as to what had gone wrong with this cake that I'd made, 16 times. And so I went on King Arthur flour, and I typed in cake fully cooked, but gummy, right? Which had never happened to me before. And this very nice lady wrote straight back to me from their site and explained exactly what had happened, and she was right. I had done that, which was, in fact, I had whipped the cake batter, and what that does is it messes the gluten up, and it makes it gummy. And I had, in fact, whipped the batter and left it whipping while I went out to do something in the house. And it ruined the cake. So anyway, they're fabulous. They'll tell you, they'll help you out if you're in the middle of something, if you have a fail. It's just an amazing website. It's melting. And you're still like, I don't know, it doesn't look like that's gonna be good cake, but trust me, it's good cake. It's a big hit with everybody, right?
My favorite.
Okay, that's melting beautifully. When this is beautifully melted, which it is, you're going to take it off the stove, and you're going to put it in a mixing bowl like this. A child could make this cake, but you have to act like it's like really hard, and it took like days and stuff. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this because I want maximum chocolate. And then there's no mixer involved, which is also super awesome. So you're going to put in the sugar, mix it around till it's mixed in perfectly, like that. You're going to use vanilla paste, which I love, or you can use regular vanilla extract or vanilla plus from
King Arthur flour,
which is vanilla essence with the flecks of vanilla in it. I like this. It's very thick, and it's like liquid with flecks of real vanilla. Or you can use a real vanilla bean, or you can skip it. We're going to put a little bit of salt. Shut up. Oh, Leonard, here. Come on in. We're making chocolate cake. We're going to put a little bit of salt, a little bit. Gives it a sort of a yumminess. Chocolate and salt, good combo. And then they call for 3 eggs. Use big eggs because these are the rising agent. So there's 1, 2. There's a little bit of shell went in there. And then I like to put in half an egg. Now what does half an egg look like? It looks a little bit like this. Okay, I'm going to let some of that go. Right? I'm going to cut the yolk in half with my finger, like this, and push it over and do a little bit of white. Half an egg by Randy Sharp. Mix, 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 mix. And now you're going to add half a cup of the messiest thing ever created in the history of planet Earth, which is cocoa powder. You're going to do this over the garbage because it's going to make a freaking mess in your entire kitchen. You're going to add your cocoa powder, unsweetened. We're stirring it. This bowl is too small. You know, on the show we have a tradition of using the incorrect size of things. It's going everywhere. So you're just going to mix it up till it's a beautiful chocolate mess like that. And I'm going to pour it into my prepared pan like this. Now, trust me, I thought the same thing you're thinking right now. That's never going to make cake. It does. You do not want the edge of your pan to be interrupted by stuff like that. So you're going to wipe out this little tiny piece of chocolate and you're going to re-butter that. You've preheated your oven to 375. You've poured in this cake into this pan, and you are now going to put this into a preheated oven. It's going to make a beautiful cake. Trust me. Goodbye, little cake. Have a good time. It's time to take the cake out of the oven. So, this is kind of what it should look like. A little bit separated from the edges and has a, you can hear it has a crust. We're gonna let this cool in the pan for about 5 minutes. And I'm just gonna warn you, these cakes are very fragile. Like I made one, perfect one, and as I was putting it on the cake thing, it broke in half. Kind of like a piece of fudge can break. So be careful. So this is a little nerve-wracking because they can break in half or stick, but we're gonna try and do this. It's about 7 minutes after we took it out. I'm running a butter knife around. Do you know what one of my mother's last words were? Was, please don't take my butter knife away. Check if she was at a dinner party. I'm turning this over. It came out. Okay, now gently, I'm going to gently pull this back. This is the danger zone. This is when they break, okay? Okay, there. So a good thing that you can serve with this is chantilly cream, macerated fruit of any kind, or something really delicious that I've been doing. Buy a bag of malted milk powder and put about a tablespoon of this into your whipped cream bowl and whip it up with the whipped cream. And you get essentially like the inside of a Whoppers, you know that, or Ovaltine whipped cream with flourless chocolate cake. Hello. Flourless chocolate cake. Perfection on a plate. It's a big hit with everybody, right?
My favorite.